So thanks so much for joining us. This is a MeWe Awakening panel. We have events for energizing body, mind, heart, and soul. We have fairs throughout the Northwest and online, and we have panels typically also throughout the Northwest and online. We've had so many more events online this year since March, and this is the sequence of our panels online. We've never done them online before since March. So this is like since March is the first time. So thanks so much for joining us online. It's been a great format for gathering together as a community and sharing our wisdom. Let's see, so to every panel, we have a different theme, and tonight's theme is stress and replenishment. So really it's how to care for ourselves in times of stress, really talking about what stress is and how it shows up in the body, and then all sorts of ways to alleviate it and to move through it and to care for ourselves. And we'll all share a bit about who we are and how we practice. All the practitioners have a P in front of our name, so you can see who we are. And then we'll also share a bit about the theme. And so probably we'll talk about ourselves first, and then we'll talk about the theme after. And then we'll be answering questions from you, from the audience. It's $20 to ask a question. Probably all of us will answer your question, and it's $10 for BIPOC, so it's our step towards making reparations. We also take a percentage of profit and use that to contribute to Real Red Duwamish. So I'm on the Duwamish tribal lands, one of the groups that I'm in, and they do collect rent. All right, let's see. Well, I think oh, and by the way, if you are interested in giving us feedback on the event, there's a link that's in the chat. I'll repost all this again too. So in the chat, there'll be information on the event tonight and information on all the practitioners. We all have a special that we offer at the event. So if you'd like to do a private session with us, you can get a lower price on that if you sign up here pretty quickly from being on the panel and then schedule sometime soon. And then if you'd like to share feedback with us on the event, there's also a link that's in the chat. And if you share feedback and give us your contact info, we'll put you on our email list so you can learn about what other things we have going on. And we'll put you in a drawing for a free 30-minute session with one of us of your choice. All right, I think those are the basics, and I'll be reposting things in the chat here in a moment. Yeah, this is great. All right, well, let's see. So I can't think of anything, and I'll just mention it again too. So this event is getting recorded and it will go up online. So if you want to stay more anonymous, just like you can change your name in Zoom and you can keep your video off and all those things. And so if you ask a question, just be aware too that it's being recorded. If you prefer to have work with us in private, schedule a session with someone. All right, great. Great. And we have so many different panels coming up too. Let me just say a little bit more about all that. I'm so excited. We just had a fair last night too. So all kinds of things going on. So if you like this format of the panels, we have coming up Healing with Color on November 27. And then, let's see, what's next? Then we've got Elementals, Dragons, Elves, and Norse Fae on November 30. Divination on December 11. Finding Your Light on December 20. Crystal Healing on December 26. And Energy Forecast for the New Year on January 2. So all kinds of great things we have going on. All right, well, let's go through and let's each introduce ourselves. So practitioners, feel free to take, 3 minutes or so and share about who you are and how you practice, share about the kinds of ways that you'll be answering questions tonight, and feel free to share anything else about your practices too, so we have the context and background on you. All right, let's just let y'all choose who goes when. Who wants to share first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
My name is Sandra Jeffs. I've been using a lot of different modalities since 1970. And at this point, I've combined most of the modalities together in something called Soul Essence Awakening. I work a lot with removing stuck emotions, limiting beliefs, and unwinding things that are stuck inside of us, and aligning them with your body, with your mind and your spirit. And today with stress, I'll especially be helping people to unwind our adrenals, unwind the lower organs where the stress comes, and set you into better alignment. So that's what I do. Thanks.
That's great. And you've got more time. Do you want to share any more too about what you do or show us any of it's totally up to you if you want to share.
Oh, okay. So I can go further?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I'm a real firm believer in empowering people to do things. There are some things, especially if you've got high anxiety, connected to stress, where it would take more work to work one-on-one to uh, get this, because we inherit stress sometimes from our family. So it's in our DNA, it's in our experiential base, it's from past lives, it's around. So unwinding our stress inside of us and releasing those stressful emotions helps. But if you've got anxiety, that's another step. For stress, I propose that people do a 5-point thing in the morning. It takes about 15 minutes to 20 minutes maximum. It's not really difficult. It's getting up in the morning and saying 5 things that you're grateful for. So you set that bar at gratitude, which helps us to calm down and relax automatically when we're in gratitude. And then it's breathing and breathing techniques. So I'm in the process of getting certified as a master Soma yoga instructor, breath work instructor. And I'm learning every day more and more about what the breath can do. But it's a simple thing of just breathing fully in for 2 counts and out for 4 counts in a continuous breath with no pauses at the top or the bottom. Doing that, and you can do it in the morning 7 times or 27 times just to start your day, but you can do it during the day, even while you're talking to somebody. If you're getting stressed, you feel your stress level rising. What that breath work does is takes us out of our sympathetic nervous system, which is where stress is, and puts us into the parasympathetic. And the parasympathetic is where we're connected to our spirit and our soul, and we're not, we're not in stress. So just getting into the habit of doing that every day. Do it in the morning, do it anytime during the day. You can just do 2, 3, 4 breaths during the day when you find yourself in a stressful situation. It's really simple to do, but start your day that way. When you go to bed at night, end with doing a 4-8 count. And that will even put you deeper into theta, and down into delta, so that you can sleep well, because sleep is critical for alleviating stress. The other thing in the morning I do is just laugh for 1 minute solid. Laughter releases stress. It releases it in 1 minute of full belly laughter will increase your immune system, activate your immune system for 12 hours. It will also relieve stress for 45 minutes. So just laugh, it's really simple. And then the other thing is to make a commitment that day to do something that you love. And it doesn't have to be really long, it doesn't have to be really intense, but every day you are doing something that you love, that you're passionate about, that you love, and you make time for yourself. If you paint, paint. If you run, run. If you dance, dance. If you sing, sing. Whatever it is. And it doesn't have to be a half a day or an hour, it can just be a few minutes, but always, always, every day, be kind to yourself and do something that makes you feel good. And the final thing is, I have on my website over 350 positive songs. They're mostly pop songs, but they have positive lyrics. And every morning as I'm getting ready for 15 minutes, I just have that playing in the background. Again, it just sets the platform from where I'm going to go into my day. So those 15 minutes, I'm doing other things while I'm listening or singing to it. Singing also relieves stress. So that's what I advocate for people to do, is to get a practice, a daily practice. I can, as a healer, help people to relieve stress right now, but then you go out and something happens, or somebody hates on you or something, and your stress is right back up. So you have, from my perspective, the more you can set your mind to saying, I'm going to live a peaceful, calm, day to day. And I am going to live in the present and be aware and not take things personally that happen. And the more calm and peaceful you can be. Okay. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you. So let's change this the order we're doing things. Go ahead and talk about you and talk about the theme, but go ahead and take like 4 minutes or so. Who's next? Yeah, those are great tips. Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Okay, great.
Can you all hear me okay? I'm just kind
Yeah.
of working with a different system, so I want to make sure you can all hear me. Okay.
Now we can hear you.
I'm starting my timer. So I mentioned in my short intro that my background is in yoga. I guess I'm gonna go right to the core of that and say that through that time period, yoga changed my life repeatedly over and over and over again, and it saved my life over and over and over again, partially because of the discipline and to me find something to focus on, and it helped me focus my mind for a lot of reasons. But over 25 years of practicing really diligently and in a very dedicated kind of way, I also came to understand that the trauma that was in my system, that I was born with, and that I accrued in my life, it wasn't being addressed. And so even though yoga, it has a reputation of being something that is for stress relief, it's really important that people understand that if yoga is going to be something that they want to be doing in their life, I love to move. And so, I was a gymnast and an athlete, and so movement is my thing. But so that's one of the reasons why yoga became such a core part of who I am. But the way that I was doing it, not only was it healing for me, but what was happening was it was peeling away these layers that a typical yoga class where there's a lot of people and not a lot of personal attention, there wasn't a lot of information being told to me about what was happening to me. Because what was happening is as the layers were being released, the trauma was being opened, and I was avoiding it. And that's where, as I mentioned in my earlier intro, my practice actually became a little bit more stressful because I was approaching it with the idea that I had to stick to the tradition of the form that I was being taught and that I loved. So I want to make it really clear that I have utter respect for the tradition of yoga. However, my experience of it and my forward bringing, I'm supposed to bring forth this new information about how it's time for us to at least start to move into not form, no form, formless in a way. There might be some people out there who already get this, but I didn't. There's these, free form dancers and people who really get formless movement, but I was under like a strict impression that I had to be. But what happened is, and this is where my work starts to come in and what I'm doing today, is I was becoming more and more confined. So I was confining myself through perfectionism. I was confined with other people's view of me as a yoga teacher or a spiritual person or the middle child or, all kinds of other things. The wife that didn't really want to be a wife, my most recent story of my life. So when I started doing psychic readings, there's my timer and I'll finish up. I had to start looking at a deeper level, and I went through a deformation. so I sort of deconstructed my body and the form of yoga and sort of fell apart to pick up the pieces. But in that falling apart was where I heard my heart. So as far as stress goes, that's sort of how I see impressions. Stress can be an impression upon you. So when you're looking to take care of yourself, to really get quiet and understand what that means to you. And I'll end there. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Lisa. All right, who's next?
I guess I'll go next. I'm Kendara, Laurel, and I think one of the things I really specialize in is belief shifting, because so many of us sabotage ourselves, a lot of times based on things that have happened in childhood, and trying to please people and trying to be perfect and not wanting to offend or alienate people who raised us in the best way they could, but gave us messages and behavior models that really didn't work for us. I find there are a lot of different ways to work on it. I'm a firm believer in meditation. I love meditating. My mission in life, one of them is to get everybody to meditate, which is so easy. I have a routine that I do in the morning and I really like it. I get up and meditate. And then I write down at least 3 things that I'm grateful for. And then after that, I just think of things that might be stressing me and write about them. Maybe spend 15 or 20 minutes writing. And I love getting out in nature. But I'd say the 2 things that really work for me are gratitude and meditation. And I'm just really happy to be here. So it's not 4 minutes, but thank you.
Okay, great. Yeah, it's okay if it's shorter. I just want to give everyone the opportunity. All right, who else wants to share?
I'll go next.
Great.
I'm Carolyn Osborn. I'm an energy intuitive, and my business is Chiron Energy Medicine. And I actually work with people and animals, but today, of course, we are focusing on people and stress. So I work with energy medicine to help transform, kind of as Kendara was saying, beliefs, thought patterns, old experiences that we've been carrying around with us, to help neutralize and clear them so that we can start to take form and take charge of our life. It's important to remember that the only thing we can change, or only people we can change, is ourself. We have no control over anyone else, but we can certainly take our power back, get in touch with who we are and what we are, and start to change our life. It's a process like anything else. And I work as a process, helping people get in touch with those different areas of their life. Think of an onion. You are like an onion with many layers on there that at this point probably really are not in your best interest. So it's about removing those layers one at a time, clearing them, and allowing your true essence to really shine forth so that you can be who you want to be and be your best. Let's see. Also what I'm doing is working with all the different layers: the physical, the emotional, the mental, and spiritual. If you're only clearing out on 1 or 2 of those layers, there's still pieces of that resistance or old patterns. You're not really getting rid of the entire belief or pattern that you want to remove. So it's important to remove on all 4 levels so that you're really clear and able to then change your path and your direction of where you want to go. And also just as a reminder, your stress, your anxiety also influences your animals. So the more work you can do on yourself will help them tremendously, because they're picking up your energies. They have their own stuff as well, but they are very much mirrors of what is going on in your life. So it's really important to clear that stress out, calm down your nervous system, as we've discussed with other people, and get yourself back to a safe, centered place and grounded place. So thank you.
You're very welcome. All right, great. Who's next? I think we've got a couple of us.
I will go next. I'm I'm Susan Watkins with Inspired Life Essential Wellness, and I'm a Reiki master. I use guided meditation as well as Reiki symbols, oracle cards for intuitive readings. I'm also a yoga teacher, and so I like to combine just a lot of the different modalities to help whatever blockages might be in the way, whether that's energetic, mental, physical. I've had training with Y12SR, which is a blending of the 12 steps of recovery with yoga, as well as Veterans Yoga Project, working with PTSD and people have experienced trauma. And there's a saying that, our issues live in our tissues, and we might not even realize what those issues are, but we've got neck pain, we've got chronic headaches or insomnia. And so just like I related so much with bits and pieces of what everybody has said, like that onion, peeling back the onion. Why is it that I'm not sleeping? Why is it that I'm having these digestive issues? Rather than just taking those Tums and, thinking that's going to make it all go away, doing the work to see what is the stressor, what is the trigger, and then taking the steps from there to kind of take your power back and get back to, because sometimes we get so used to feeling dis-ease that becomes our new normal, and we almost forget what it's like to be energized, to feel joyful, to be able to move forward and do the things we want to do without thinking, oh gosh, well, if I do that, it's going to wipe me out and I'm going to need to take a nap for 2 hours. So just getting back to really how do you want to feel, and how do you feel now, and looking at where the gap is, and just taking those little steps to fill that gap just little by little. And I love the gratitude practice. I think that's so important, just tuning in. What am I grateful for? I'm so grateful for, I appreciate. And taking time in nature to walk, and just thinking about what would make me feel good. So many times there's so much expectations that are put on us from other people. And yeah, okay, I need to get that letter off from my boss or whatever it might be. But, just tuning back to of all these things that need to get done, what's going to make me feel accomplished? What's going to make me feel good? And coming back to yourself, whether it's reprioritizing that type to-do list, doing something even for 5 minutes that just fills your cup and makes you smile and laugh and brings you joy. Those are all just really important things. So I'm really grateful to be here today, and I'm excited to delve into this topic and take some time to take care of ourselves.
Great, thank you. All right, my turn, I think, right? Everyone else is gone? Yes, I'm sort of listening, so I'm going to repeat some of these things, listening and just scribbling a list. And first I was thinking, like, I'm really not a good example of this. I don't think I'll have anything to say. And then I'm like, oh, I got a big list. Okay, so I know some things. So I just took a drink. One of them is drink water. Right? So these are little things we can do to decrease our stress. So you all have been talking about nature, right? So I sit by a window. So looking out a window, go outside and let yourself listen to the sounds, right? Feel what it's like being out there. So let yourself be impacted by the energy outside. If you have any running water anywhere outside, go stand by the running water. The negative ions are impactful. Stand barefoot, right? So part of it is touching nature. Touch natural surfaces. So if you have wood floors in your home, or you have a stone inside, right? You have a plant on your desk that's bringing nature inside, touch your plant. Go for a walk, like exercise too, but be aware that you're in nature. Let yourself be aware that you're there. I can have a tendency to be up in my head and not actually be present with what's around me. So it's my choice of whether I let myself take in. Right? Breathing. So part of this is like, we're nature, right? So simply following our breathing, noticing our breathing, particularly slowing down our breathing, noticing the physical sensations as we breathe, slowing down our out breath. I just say breathing into our belly. More people coming. Yeah, following any body sensations, because we are nature. So just noticing, what do we feel around our body? What are these sensations we're aware of? Noticing and following those calms us. It usually slows down our breathing too. truth, right? Just saying simple things that are true often are calming and relieving to the whole system, the nervous system. So it might be saying a body sensation or a feeling, right? It might be, oh, I feel sad, or oh, I feel joy. And it can also be saying something simple, like if you're here on this side of the earth, today is Sunday. Simply saying today is Sunday. There's a congruence and alignment in that, and that will probably calm your system. Right? And close a gap. If there's something you haven't told someone, your whole system is like moving around, wiggling, right? Attempting to hold that and be with that. And yeah, so closing a gap and telling someone some truth. It might not feel so great in the moment, and your whole system probably will relax afterwards. Eat something healthy that your body actually wants. Feel the sensations as you're eating it and feeling it coming into your body. Drinking water, healthy water, movement, any kind of self-care. So whatever you find beautiful or pleasurable is self-care. Having that around you, looking at it, touching it, anything that is relaxing. Historically for me, it's been taking a hot bath. Letting yourself sleep where you wake up with no alarm. And if you're someone like I've been a lot of my life, where I've gone to sleep with a lot in my head, writing a list before going to sleep so I don't have to rely on myself to remember. So I've put it there and it's there. If it will trigger you and get you thinking about all those things, don't do that. It really depends on what type of person you are. So I encourage you to tailor your self-care to what's true for you, what works for you. So those are some things on stress and replenishment for me. And I'm going to read a little bit about what I wrote about stress, about me as a practitioner. So I'm Laureli Shimayo, and I'm an intuitive eye reader, a body psychology coach, and sometimes I've called what I do like emotional healing, emotional energy healing. I'm very nuanced in my awareness of body movements, postures, gestures, particularly the eyes, and watching things about the eyes. There's a set of archetypes that I use to describe what I see in someone's eyes, and I'm able to sense this is like where people are in their lessons. I guess what it means in a practical way is like, what do you believe in? What do you value? And are you letting yourself express that? Part of that is a conversation. Are you letting yourself express it? Sometimes like there's like this bubbling out of you that you want to express. And if you're not giving yourself a place to do it, and you don't believe that you're worth having people that want to receive that, that's incredibly stressful. So sometimes just allowing ourselves to express our authenticity with people that want it, that can be so replenishing. Or there's a way that we're fighting ourselves, and I can help people see that and feel the pain under that, and create ease and kind of an unwinding of the knot of that. Yeah, it's all kinds of things like that, helping people make choices in a way that's so easy for their nervous system and for their soul. Yeah. So that's what I do, and some of my ideas in reverse order. And let me say a little bit about and this is the last day that I'm going to have my prices as low as I've had during the pandemic. So you can do sessions with me today at 50% off. You can sign up today for doing them in the future for 50% off. So that's $1 a minute for my eye readings or my coaching. I had one client buy a few hours at that low price recently. That was great. So one of the things I listened to recently was a Brene Brown podcast. It's just so perfect for me for this panel. There are two sisters that she interviewed, Doctors Emily and Amelia Nagoski, and they describe how too much stress results in a decreased sense of accomplishment, the sense that nothing we do makes a difference. It results in emotional exhaustion, fatigue from caring too much for too long, and they name something about I don't remember what it was, but it's like an overgiver syndrome. And depersonalization. Stress results in depersonalization. It becomes a lack of caring and compassion. Right? So we experience so much more of this in our lives now, with so many changes due to the pandemic, decreased economy and income for so many people, less social connection, so much more childcare burdens, particularly on women. So women have been the ones that often have been expected to cut back on their jobs so that they take care of the kids, or to do all of their job and their kids. Mm-hmm. And so much more for the family because everyone's inside, because we can't do as much out in society. Illnesses, some of us have had COVID, or just other illnesses that are happening. the idea of like long haulers from COVID and all of the endless impacts that we're only just starting to see. And then just everything that's happened this year from politics, and so much us versus them that's gotten set up between us. Like there's so much impacting us and so much stress. Oh yeah, so we're here to, all 6 of us, we're here to be with you, to help just hold a container for all that's here. And for those of you that want it, to receive our care, right? So you might choose to ask a question and specifically receive direct care from us. And all of you that are here receiving the care from us, being here together, and all that we share, feedback for people. All right, any practitioners or anything else you want to share before we get started with our questions? Feel free to jump in if there's something else you want to share about your background or something else you want to share about stress and replenishment. Just go ahead.
Carolyn here again. Forgot to mention earlier that stress is one of the biggest causes of disease and illness. So in order to really take care of yourself, it's really important to de-stress, to get you out of that stress mode and get your body healthy and calm enough so it can function the way it's meant to do it. When you're in the fight or flight stress mode, it basically shuts down a lot of the other systems, your immune system, your digestive system. So they are operating only at like, 25, 30% of where they should be, which means you're not getting the necessary care in your body to maintain your optimal health. So this is why dealing with stress is so important. And, we all have different ways of doing it, but we're all reaching the same goal of getting you out of stress so that you can take charge of your life and really be happier and healthier.
Great, thank you. Yeah, anyone else, any other practitioners want to share anything else?
Yeah, I'd like to say that I've got 40% off of a 1-hour session that I'm probably going to last until the end of the year. And it's specifically on de-stressing and helping you to unwind your adrenals so that you're not dumping that cortisol into your system and releasing anything from your physical body. We store emotions in our bodies. So I'll post that link to my website for you.
Yeah, that's great. And feel free, practitioners, if you want to go through quickly and just share what your specials are, feel free to do that too. And then, so those of you in the audience, you might want to be thinking about, if you want to ask a question of the panel, what that might be. You can pay by PayPal or Venmo. I've got both of those listed in the chat, towards the bottom of the chat. We've got one person in line right now, so we've got lots of space to answer your questions. But yeah, practitioners, feel free to jump in if you want to share your specials.
I just wanted to add on one thing that you'd mentioned, Lorelei, about, I forget the word but what came to mind was compassion fatigue. And I think you had said something about over caring or over giving, and that kind of ties into that compassion fatigue, where we can really feel drained and fatigued just by caring, about what's going on around us. Maybe we don't have COVID, or nobody we knows has COVID. Maybe our business is still going, but we know of other people's businesses that have had to close or shift, people that have been laid off. I mean, I can't imagine anybody has gone through these last 8 months, or however long it's been. It just seems like forever now. That hasn't in some way been impacted themselves or know somebody that's been impacted. And just that can have this tremendous weight and stress and fatigue, for having that empathy, that compassion. And I think if you're here tonight on this panel, or to be participating, you fall into that realm of somebody that is compassionate, empathetic, a healer, a teacher, a guide, whatever that, and just that caring for other people, and just acknowledging that maybe I personally haven't had this or that, but I feel and I feel a sense of a weight of that. So and grief too. I think that grief can kind of tie in to that compassion fatigue. And I've seen businesses that have been around for decades that are now closing, or just different things that have come up. So a lot of times we think of grief as somebody dying, but there can also be a grief in losing the normalcy, or the I'm I'm not thinking of the exact word, but the just losing the way it's always been, you know, and having to shift and change and moving into, but you know, you're trying to plan for what's next, but you don't even really know what's next. And so letting go of maybe the plans that you had. So just being aware of that, you know, even if you don't have all the answers, that's okay. And I don't think any of us have all the answers, but even just acknowledging like, gosh, I'm feeling fatigued and I have no idea why. And that's okay. Just, you know, honor the feel the feel. I mean, earlier today I was taking a walk and I felt like crying, and there was I had no reason to feel like that. I was walking my dog. It was beautiful. It was before the rain downpour. But yet I just had this overwhelming feeling of, I just want to start bawling. So feel the feel. You don't have to know why. You don't have to explain or justify or analyze. It is what it is. So feel it, allow it, move through it. As far as specials, I'm offering a $45 for 30 minutes and a $60 for 60 minutes. But that's beside the point. I felt, you know, that whole compassion fatigue and just honoring that the fatigue of it, the weight of it and fatigue can make you just feel tired and sick in and of itself. So.
I'd like to jump in here also. I think as we're seeing a lot of people having hard times, some of us aren't having as hard a time. And it's so important to be gentle with ourselves, not feel guilty, not feel like we have to punish ourselves or, well, I'm having a hard time, to celebrate ourselves. Be there for people, but be a selfish giver and give to yourself, because if you're depleted, you ain't gonna be no good to anybody. And I'm offering $1 a minute through the end of December. And that's all I want to say.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, Carolyn, go ahead.
I just want to say, also just remember to reach out to your friends and at least connect with people, talk with people, especially if they're living alone, to give them a lifeline and just be there. And if you can just listen and support them in that way, you don't have to take on their stuff, but you can certainly be there and support them. That's also really important right now, especially with all the isolation of everybody and there's no real connection. So just remember, just take a few minutes, make a phone call, make a Zoom call, and just check in with your friends to make sure they're okay.
Right.
And I'm also offering a 20% discount through the end of November. It'll be on my website and I'll be posting that information there as well. Thank you.
Great, thank you. I know one of our practitioners is having some tech trouble. She just came in with another device and I think popped out again. So hopefully she will be back in just a moment. And yeah, all right. Well, let's see. So we've got Suzanne in line, or Susan in line. I'm not sure how you pronounce your name. And yeah, so if anyone wants to ask us a question, and sometimes, you know, you need to see us answering a question first before you get ideas of what that might be or decide you want to jump in, that's totally fine. Anytime you want to, just sign up and you just write in the text, write in the chat when you've paid, and make sure that I get that and get you in line. All right, well, let's see. So before we start answering, yeah, and I want to just, let me check on Susan. Or Lisa, I mean, check on Lisa. All right, great. Okay, oh, we got someone else in line. All right, great. So before we start answering, let's see. So when you ask a question, keeping in mind, again, this is recorded and it's going to go up online. When you ask a question, we might go deeper than you intend us to go, or we might start talking about a topic that you don't want us talking about here. Please let us know if that's the case. Just unmute and let us know, or wave your hands if you have your video on, or write in the chat, and we'll all be paying attention to that to really support us to hold the container in the way that you want us to here. I encourage everyone to learn from everything that's asked and shared, even if you don't ask a question. And then if, well, we believe that everyone's intuitive. And so particularly since you're here, you might know that you're open and you're intuitive. And if something comes through for you while we're chatting, oh yeah, so she's working on technology. If something comes through for you, you might want to write it down. Sometimes they float away. So write it down so it's grounded. And then if you want to, when you're, one is it's great to check your intuition, because maybe we say something similar to what you see, or maybe you see something new that we don't. If you want to, when we're done, you can chat the person directly and ask if they'd like to hear what came through for you. And please just honor whatever it is they share. They might be full and they might not want anything else right now. And I'm getting some questions, and I will write in just a moment in response to those. And then we can just start with Suzanne. And if you have a particular practitioner that you want to have start answering, you're welcome to tell us who that is. The chances are we'll all jump in and share something. All right, Suzanne, Susan, did you want to unmute? And it's with a Z in your name. You can go first.
Yes. Yeah. Could I go next? Because I'm actually I have to take care. Yeah. Let me go next.
Yeah,
Not yet. Give me 10 minutes.
Oh, no, you want it in 10 minutes. You want to take care of something first. Okay. And Lisa's coming back in. All right, great. And let's see. So we've got a couple other people. It looks like Carol. And then, yeah. And let's see. The other person that asked, yeah, we can do it directly. So I can put you on the list. Okay, let's see. So we'll get back to Suzanne or Susan. And did anyone hear how we were pronouncing that? It's okay. So yeah, Carol, if you want to, you're welcome to go. Then Verna will be next. Yeah, so Carol, are you ready? Where's Carol? Carol with an E. There you are.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, great. Yeah, if you want to turn on your video, you don't have to. It's totally up to you.
Oh, I will. I was just having my Wi-Fi was disconnecting also. So I was like trying to move and you
Okay.
had froze. I was like, oh my gosh.
Great. We can see you now.
Okay. So I don't know that I have a real question, maybe just kind of what you guys are picking up on, but I have been, what interested me or what I resonated with was I am feeling a little bit of emotional exhaustion. Well, I don't know about a little bit. I would say a lot. I don't know. I was contemplating it today. Maybe it's like burnout also. Like I just been doing too much, and I'm overwhelming myself, I think. And I believe I've come to the answers. I just kind of maybe have wanted some clarification, maybe some good ideas. That's why I was drawn to the class today on what I could do that would be meaningful for me, I suppose. I think I just been doing too much. I got all excited about learning and, you know, the awakening part. And I think I've just overwhelmed myself.
So it feels less about work and more about just all the other things you've piled on your plate and all the ways that you're pushing yourself forward.
Well, yeah, because right now life is just not fun anymore. You know, it's just not fun for me. And even like taking classes, metaphysical classes, it's not fun. It feels like it's work, and I don't feel like it should be that way. It should be fun and enlightening and lifting, and not what it is now. And I think right now for me is
I want to say, I know there's that mixture too, that when one gets depressed, everything looks gray.
Yeah.
And so how much is it not fun, and how much is it that everything looks gray? And it may be that both of those are happening.
That's possible. That's, I don't know where the depression is coming from, but I do suffer with depression, and I have suffered with it. It's like in my history, it's in my family genes. I haven't suffered with it for a long time that I know of, or that I could recognize, I suppose.
Are you in the Northwest?
Yeah.
So, yeah,
I'm in Washington.
Yeah. So the whole thing with the light changing during the fall here too.
I know. I hate it. I'm ready to move. I've been here for 20 some years. I'm just like, each year it gets harder and harder to carry on, but it just started. So.
Great. Yeah, I know. We just started. My partner was just saying that November is the hardest year up here, or November's the hardest month up here, where the lights move so quickly and we have daylight savings and all those things. So, practitioners, if anyone wants to jump in, and then if there's anyone in particular you wanted to have start, I was trying to just create a little more of the context for everybody with my question.
No, I'm not very familiar with any of their practitioners. I mean, I totally related to what I think our first one, Sandra. I really felt drawn to her, but any of them really. I would be interested, whatever you guys got.
Great. All right. Yeah, feel free, practitioners, whoever wants to jump in and go. And let's see, we don't know how many questions we're going to get. We have at least 3. So in terms of our timing, we've got like an hour and 45 minutes or so. So we should just probably, aim for like 3 or 4 minutes each and then see how we're doing.
Can I start?
Sure, go ahead.
Hi, Carol, from a Carolyn. Know that you are not alone. You are one of many that are going through a lot of this at the same time. Everybody's feeling this in some different degree or another. But one thing that stuck out for me was, we've been in such an age of uncertainty and change and everything. And so our answer has been to be do, to try to take control of it. And really what might be the best for you to do is just stop, just be, take care of yourself, really go inside and connect with yourself and see, digest everything that you have been taking in. Allow yourself to just absorb and digest and just be quiet. Get outside, spend some time in the fresh air, exercise, spend some time with an animal. That's always very calming if you have one. Meditate, but just, read a book, just read something for fun, there's no message involved, just take something in just for the pure joy of it. And breathe. Breathing is very important. Remember to just sit and breathe every once in a while, ground yourself so that you're able to let that stuff flow out of you back into the earth and you're not carrying it in you, because it just starts, going around in a circle and you get on that treadmill and it's hard to get off. So it's, all of those things, any of those things can be helpful, but I think the biggest thing is just stop, be quiet, and just get comfortable back in your skin again and who you are, and get to know who you are inside and digest what you've taken in.
That's very helpful. Actually, I think you're spot on with get comfortable in my skin again. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Very good.
Great, thanks for your response. Who else wants to go?
Carol, may I go? I was getting some things while you were speaking, and the first thing was to suggest that you revisit your obligations. Maybe before this all happened, you made some commitments and they're burning you out because it's so much and it's enough just trying to cope sometimes. So what they're telling me to tell you is it's okay to tell people no. And if you do things for people, make sure it's an exchange of some kind, even just anything, because it's feeling burned out a little bit. More water. Every day, think of something that you really want to do, and then give yourself maybe 15 minutes a day just doing it, just anything. And also a really good positive thing to do would be some sort of creative thing, coloring mandalas or just writing or doing something with your hands that you love to do. That's incredibly grounding. Prayer. I love prayer. And being out in nature, just being out in nature, and music. But the main thing that I get for you, Carol, is it's okay to tell people no.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. I need to remind myself that sometimes.
Yeah, I have to do that. Some people don't like to hear no.
No, they don't.
Can I jump in?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Carolyn, you do have some stuff in your DNA that's carrying through with the depression and things, but that's longer than we could do on this call. But let me just teach you a really simple technique to do that allows you to put yourself into a neutral space, because I'm picking up that you're really hard on yourself. Is that true?
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. And so the one thing, Don Miguel Ruiz talks about, if you've read any of his work, is that we need to let go of first our expectations, our over expectations for who we are. And that allows us to be easier for other people and to find our voice, our honest, authentic voice, which includes what people have been talking about, saying no, saying, having boundaries. So this technique is really simple. You just take in a really deep breath. Go ahead, take in a really deep breath, and you're going to hold it. And hold it until you can feel a sense of calm up there. Just keep holding it. And when you feel that calm, gently let go and bring the calm back down. In yoga, this is called the space between the breath. That's where you connect with source and with your higher self. And so if you do this as many times a day as you can think of it, just connect to that calmness where you've stopped the breath, you've held your breath, you've got oxygen inside, and you're connecting with source. Bring that source back down. And then there's a prayer that says, I am more than I think I am. That doesn't mean doing more, that you're a bigger being than you believe yourself to be. I am more than I know I am. And it opens you up to the messages from spirit, from the universe, to be able to inform you of who you really are and not have other people judge us or the images that we've had throughout life of this is how a woman has to be, this is how a person has to be, but hearing spirit. So when you do the space between the breath, you're able to quiet your mind, that judging mind, that monkey mind that wants to be something different. And then as much as possible, when you breathe gently back and go to natural breath, carry that with you. And at any time during the day, my goal is every 15 minutes to do it. I've never been able to do it yet. It's my goal. But, as much as possible, it puts you in the here and now and the present, and out of the chatter of everybody else and the chatter of the horrible things that are happening in the world right now. So try that. And I'd love if you try it to, shoot me an email and say what happens or, connect with me. I'd love to hear.
Okay, I will do it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Carol. I'm going to jump in. I love you.
Thank you. I love you too. I'm happy that you're here.
I'm happy you're here because you are me. And I'm going to ask you to put your pencil down or your pen.
You knew I was writing.
Oh, yeah. And lean back in your chair. Maybe even take that breath that Sandra just suggested. And let it go a little sooner than you might think. And I might have to have you turn on your microphone because I want you to feel your throat as well. And what is your throat trying to tell you? Is there, can you?
I don't think it's trying to tell me anything.
Okay, what does it
I don't
feel like?
recognize what you're saying.
What does your throat feel like?
I don't know that it feels like anything.
Is it doing anything? Is it contracted or soft or relaxed? And
Well, I don't know. I think it's relaxed.
okay. Can you feel underneath it a little more, like closer to the collarbones? And then keep going down a little bit further even. So just keep moving your awareness further down in your body. And that might mean that you take another few breaths where you're actually feeling your rib cage and your belly move with your breath. So as much as I appreciate and respect that, the holding of your breath and how that can help in certain circumstances, the pressure of holding your breath is a stressor for this particular moment from my perspective.
I'm feeling really tight now in my shoulders.
Yeah. So give me just another second, and Lorelei, let me know if I need to cut my time. Put your fingers on your belly button or your palm or something. Just bring your hand to your belly. And see if you can create a softness in your belly. Okay, and right now I'm just hearing a puncture wound. I don't know what that means necessarily, but a former life puncture wound that needs careful consideration. So it's possible, as this information is coming in, it's possible that your ability to drop down with your awareness, with your breathing, is because of it's like you don't want to feel that old wound.
That's possible. Because when you said make a softness in my belly, I didn't know what you meant. And I was struggling with even what that meant.
Yeah, these are really subtle details that are really important when it comes to embodying your body. So before everybody else spoke, that was the one thing that I wanted to tell you, partly because I know you and I observe you from my perspective, but that finding to get back in your body and out of your head. So right now I'm feeling like humming, like, using sound to get down into the body. Stomping your feet, dancing, I don't know, working with clay, doing something with your body, because the breath, and this is where my skill with my body, and my story of being a yoga practitioner, that my breathing actually got harder over 25 years of practicing yoga. It wasn't easy for me. There were moments, but that kind of life trauma interferes because our conscious mind is not aware of it. And then we move, and all of a sudden we have this like blockage somewhere, and we can't breathe because we're up here telling ourselves that we're able to. This is what I did, that I should have been able to breathe. So as important as the breath is, because it is a really powerful thing, I would definitely say to explore it for yourself, but explore it in a way that is going to be really gentle. So more of an observation before you start trying to breathe. And that's even kind of hard in itself. And we can talk more at another time. I'm going to let somebody else go now, but thank you for spending time with me. Yeah.
Thanks, Lisa.
Yeah, anyone else want to share? Maybe most everyone is gone.
I could share a little bit. It's
Yeah.
just interesting. I initially, when all this, before anyone started, I pulled some cards from the self-care oracle deck that I love, and it ties it kind of all together. The first card that came out was use your hands, which I think some Lissy just mentioned, using clay or, planting a winter pot, to put out, here in the Northwest, find some, some pot that can bring you joy when you look out your kitchen window and there's, some winter mums or something. But, just use your hands. So whether that's painting, clay, planting something, but using your hands. And then also deep breathing came out, and you've been given some techniques here for deep breathing. But I love the one card that also came out was surrender to passion. And on here it says, get out of your head and feel the fire in your belly. Focus on the people or activities that ignite your passion. And I love the breathing technique of putting your hand on your belly and just feeling your belly breathe, feeling your body respond to your breath. And maybe even putting one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly and just feeling your body breathe. Just feeling, don't try to alter it. Like Lisa was saying, don't try to alter it or change it or, but just notice, is it shallow? Is it deep? Is it smooth? Is it staccato? Am I breathing more from my chest? Am I breathing more from my belly? Just being that observer of your breath. And as you just become aware of your breath, a lot of times just naturally, like Carolyn mentioned, you'll shift from that sympathetic, parasympathetic flow, and your breath will just naturally start to deepen, and you'll just naturally start to feel a little bit of ease, a little bit of relaxation, just by tuning out the quiet and connecting to your body, connecting to your breath. And then the final card that came out was enjoyment. Striving and pushing makes life into endless hard work. The more you're inviting love to take over, the more enjoyment comes. Allow me time to enjoy this life. So just, taking some time to connect back to your passion, to connect to what fires up your belly. The other day I signed up for a class and I'm like, yes, and it, it connected me back to my passion. It wasn't a class that I had to take. It was something that I wanted to take,
Right.
or what, so, finding what is that, what makes me happy, what fills my bucket. So I hope that was helpful.
Oh, it definitely was. I do have to share, because working with the hands, it's been a while since I've actually wanted to do any cooking. I like to cook. I enjoy cooking. So this yesterday, I wanted to I made some biscuits from scratch, but I'm gluten-free. So
Yeah.
anyways, so I made some biscuits, and just playing with the butter and the flour, melding that together, it really, I started feeling my heart center open up, and I was like intrigued. It struck me. It's like, oh my gosh, this is something that I really like to do, and I've missed it. And, and then you and Lisa and forget who else was talking about using my hands. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's what they're telling me. Not cooking, but I mean, doing things with my hands. Yes, absolutely.
Well, and it certainly could be cooking if you enjoy, baking.
Right.
It certainly could be that, dough, biscuits, cookies, whatever it might be.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Doesn't have to be just that, but things
Right.
working with my hands. I do have the mandala coloring books that I haven't colored in a long time. So
Awesome.
I think these are really excellent ideas, and I really appreciate them. Thank you so much. You get busy and you lose track of things, Oh my gosh. Thank you.
Great. It's great. I'm noticing Bits just looking at your eyes too. Did someone else have something they wanted to jump in? Couldn't tell I was having, yeah. So kind of play with what things I see in your eyes, a mix of possible different things. And so I love what people have been sharing, and I hear that it's been meaningful, and that's been great. So the other thing I want to mention too, and I don't think anyone's touched on this, I think being with people is really important to you. So it's been really hard being by yourself. And so finding ways that you can interact with people online that really is playful, that satisfies that desire to really like interact and play. And I do something that's called authentic relating games. There's a lot of that online that you can find. So it's interactive experiences with people, like solo, pair, small group, and large group activities, where we can practice being authentic and being in connection with each other. And it involves things like telling the truth and sharing what you feel and noticing your body sensations. So a lot of the different things that we talked about. People that you care about, having like physically, just you want to be moving your body. Like I'm sitting on a ball, so yeah, where you're in movement while you're with people, and it feels really like alive and interactive while you can't be with people in person. Yeah, you're muted right now. Oops.
Okay, yes, yeah, I forgot I was muted. Yes, I totally get that and resonate with that. Yes.
Yeah,
Even at work, my limit of people have been cut off.
yeah.
And it really, I did notice that has set me in a different mood for sure.
Yeah, so if you do dance, I know the ecstatic dance communities, they have a lot of it online. Like there's a big one in Portland that I know is online on Sunday mornings. And so a lot of different things like that. Just being around the energy of other people, being in their bodies might be helpful.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, great. Anyone have anything else to share before we complete with Carol? Yeah, thanks so much, Carol, for getting us started. It's great. And then this is recorded and it will go back up online too, so you can listen again also. All right. Let's see.
Thank you all.
You are welcome. All right, let's see. So Susan or Suzanne, are you all set now? You could be next. And by the way, I want to comment, whoever Kimberly M is, I just love the image you have there. It's a bunch of trees with a path in the forest, and it's beautiful. Yeah. So Susan or Suzanne? Oh, all right, great. I can see you in the darkness. Let's see if we can. Great.
Not much for you to do. So can you hear me?
We can. And how do you pronounce your name?
Susan.
Great, Susan, go ahead.
So it's up to you if this is a good time. I had a friend that just came out of the hospital, so I ended up having to go run and grab her some food, and I'm on my way to drop it off. I'm going to be off the freeway in another 5 minutes, and then I can pull over, or we could start now.
It's okay. Yeah, if Verna's ready, we can go with Verna, and then do you have time when you pull over?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Yeah, we can wait a few more minutes. That's cool. We want you to be able to be here with our answers. All right.
Okay.
Thanks for letting us know what's going on.
Yeah,
all right.
Thanks. All right.
Verna, are you set? Do you want to go?
Yeah. So my question, I guess, I really want to ask about my sisters and my niece, but I'm going to ask about myself because I feel like, yeah, I don't want to get into all that other stuff. So I can't seem to relax my body ever, especially on my left side, my hip, and my thigh and my knee, and my left foot has been giving me a lot of trouble. What else did I write here? Oh, letting go of trauma that I've experienced at work, from some sexual harassment at the beginning of summer, and then which kicked up some PTSD, and then a woman I work with who slapped me really hard on my shoulder blade, and she eventually, she quit the job, so they didn't fire her or anything, but she quit unrelated to that. She denied doing it, and they couldn't see it on the camera because she was behind me. So anyway, I can't seem to relax my body. I'm up several times a night. I'm eating. I've started eating in the middle of the night, and I never used to do that. So just that's my story. If you can get a question out of that, you're doing better than I am.
Yeah, I think we got that. And practitioners, I've got that in the doc where I'm taking notes. So if you need to see it, you can go look there. Yeah, thanks, Verna. Yeah, I know you've had a lot going on. You've shared with us a few times. Yeah, so it's a good summary. Yeah. So practitioners, if anyone feels called, go ahead and jump in.
Yeah, I do. Hi, Verna. I'm going to try to pin you. Okay, maybe not. I'm actually glad to see you. I remember you from another panel. You had an angel behind you on the wall when you first arrived today. And I want to tell you that I am sorry for your experience with that woman. I actually had a similar experience recently as well, which is why I wanted to jump in. I really, I know I'm supposed to do some energy work with you. If you are open to that, I need to ask your permission. I'm just going to use my arms, and I'll basically kind of tune into you and probably speak a little bit. I'm going to put a timer on so that I don't overdo it. I'll give myself 3 minutes. Is that okay, Laureli?
Oh, give yourself 4 minutes. It's okay. Go ahead.
Okay. So I'm getting a message right now that you have some helpers that are above your head right now. And for you to believe in their presence, and to even just kind of see if you can give yourself the sensation of having the top of your head open. And I'm hearing that you're a little bit afraid, and that's okay. Just to allow yourself to feel whatever it is that's coming up from your heart and your belly right now. And we love you. Message here. We love you. We want you to feel safe in this world. And we've made accommodations for you to help you understand how to learn how to be this way. Unfortunately, some of those accommodations tend to be scary and repeating patterns, or repetitive from times before, other lifetimes. We love you. We want you to feel our love around you right now. So just give yourself a little bit of space. When there is a contraption or pressure or contamination from other people that is moving at you, it tends to cause your whole self to shrink and kind of shrivel up inside of you a little bit. So just look around, orient yourself to the space that you're in. Recognize that you are in a home where you're safe, in a comfortable chair that you know and you love. And allow your breath to move a little bit, maybe even tremble a little bit. And allow your energy body to start expanding out. So if that energy inside of you could move to the edges of your skin, and reach out and touch the edges of your clothing, touch the chair, and then continue as you feel safe, maybe even later when you go to bed tonight, feeling the blankets around you and allowing yourself to open into that space. Grieve more for the sake of your heartache. And remember to try to believe in love without harm. Love comes in waves toward you. Retaliation of love is an occurrence that happens over lifetimes and over periods in the lives that we're living right now. Believe in the brevity of the pain and the heartache. Remember that it can be short-lived. So go ahead and just take a deep breath with me. You can exhale through your mouth if you'd like. Maybe move your toes and your fingers to resituate yourself back into your body. Thank you for doing that with me, with us, with all of us.
Thank you.
Can I jump in here? Yeah,
Oh, sorry, yeah.
the energy healing you just got from Lisa was powerful, is what I heard, and connecting with your angels. As soon as you started talking, I saw 4 things. That you have quite a few psychic attacks that you're still holding on to. You have some hooks of people who have literally hooked into your soul, wanting things from you. And you also have some cords. Cords are, when we cord to somebody, it's usually from need or grief or pain. And where we want to be connected to people is only from our love, only from our heart chakra. You've also got some waywards. I get that you're a very sensitive person. Is that right, Verna? Yeah. For people who are sensitive, we're more inclined to attract waywards. When I say waywards, I'm speaking about souls who haven't still gone to the light, and they're not, it's not possession or anything. They're just drawn to your light. And so with your permission, if I can remove these things, and I'll go ahead and do that for you, that will allow you to more fully step into what the work that Lisa did, because those things are holding you back from really accepting the immense, what I get, Verna, when I look at you, when I, ask to see your spirit, it is brilliant. It really is a gorgeous spirit. And so you're having trouble to accept that brilliancy, hence the person slapping you on the back. The more you can really embody and love who you are, it isn't an ego thing. It's that spirit that everybody else has also, and shining that light that you are. So if I can do this energy work for you, I have to hear you say yes. So unmute yourself, because I don't do anything unless you give me permission to do it.
Yes.
Okay. Anybody else on the call who wants to do this, you don't have to unmute yourself, but just say yes. And anything that doesn't apply for you, just ask spirit. Just say yes. Anything that applies to me, I want also. And that way, if it doesn't relate to you, you won't get it. So.
Yes.
Okay. So just sit comfortably. Universe, it is commanded that any and all psychic attacks that Verna has are now completely healed, dissolved, removed, clear down to the root of her being, from all timelines, all space-time continuums, all universes, dimensions, and between realms. And she is free and clear, and they are unable to reattach to her. And show me that this is done. Thank you. It is done, it is done, it is done. Universe, it is commanded that any waywords that are attached to Verna are released from her, and that your angels will guide those waywords all the way into the light, into their highest and best self. Do that now, and the highest and best for Verna and all of the waywords concerned. Thank you. It is done, it is done, it is done. Show me. Creator of all that is, it is commanded to release, dissolve any hooks, any cords that Verna has to any persons, any events, anything at all. All of them are cut, undone, dissolved from any lifetime, any timeline, any lifetime, any space-time continuum, any universe, any dimension, and any between realms, that she is completely free of all hooks and all cords, and they are unable to rehook, to record to her going forward in her highest and best, and that she is now completely free. Thank you. It is done, it is done, it is done. Show me. I'm being shown that if you want this, Verna, would you like to know what it feels like to truly accept yourself and love yourself? If you want that, say yes.
Yes.
Okay. And would you like to know that you are worthy and deserving of stepping into your full empowered self and to your full light of your spiritual being? Would you like that?
Yes.
And would you like to know what it feels like to be so joyful in that light that you have inside you, and you recognize the light of others around you, that you can share that light uninhibitedly, knowing you are safe to be who you really are? Would you like that?
Yes.
Okay. It is commanded to download all of these things into all parts of Verna's being, her body, mind, and soul, into all 4 levels, and into every cell, molecule, and atom of her. Thank you. It is done, it is done, it is done. Show me. How are you feeling, Verna?
I'm feeling, I feel some power flowing through me,
Mm-hmm.
some energy. I feel like my vision is clearer.
Okay. Good.
And, I also recognize that there is some part of me that is resisting. I don't know. And so I kept, when you were saying that, I kept saying telling them to go, go. But I kept feeling like this fear too.
Mhm. Yeah, the safety, it came very clear. So let me just re-download that you are safe to let go. Would you like to know that you are completely 100% safe to be who you truly are, to step into your true self? Would you like that? And would you like to know what it really feels like to be safe, regardless of what anyone else says to you, regardless of how they view you, criticize you, whatever, you still remain your authentic, lighted being self? Would you like that?
Yes.
Okay. Download that into every part of her being, body, mind, and soul. All 4 levels and every molecule, cell, and atom of her. Thank you. It is done, it is done, it is done. Okay, I'm hearing that, the work that Lisa did with you was really important. So remember what she said and how she was phrasing things and the angels that were around you, and allow them, stay open to receive the work that she did for you. And breathe, just breathe through it. And through the night, you'll keep, reacquainting yourself with the angels and your authentic true self, your spirit. Okay? Thank you for letting me work with you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Let the tears come if they want to come. Get up and dance if you want to dance. Laugh if you want to dance. Or just sleep. But just let it be. Let the work continue as you integrate what you just accepted into your life, okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and thanks, Sandra, for pulling Lisa back in. I was speaking with my mute button on earlier in between the two of you. So yeah, thanks for reminding us about what Lisa shared. All right, who else wants to share with Verna?
I'd like to share.
Go ahead.
Hi, Verna. As you were sitting there and just speaking, I got a really strong feeling to just look at what Louise Hay says about different parts of the body. And the first thing you indicated was it was your left side. And the left side is the part that rules. It's the part that takes control. And so then I looked at intuitively feeling like you're not getting the support that you need. The hips indicated the fear of moving forward, the flexibility, the knee. And this was really interesting because I was not only stuck in the ego of being afraid, but it's mother stuff. And so I'd have to say a lot of these things, and I'm intuitive about age 12. A lot of things happened about age 12, which you're having trouble assimilating because of a fear of being disloyal. So then we looked at the foot, moving the fear of the future. But because it came up, you're ready to look at it. So I'd like to give you a couple exercises, which I find to be incredibly helpful. And are you familiar with the color cobalt blue? It's the color, okay. So cobalt blue is the color of the throat chakra. And so what you can do is create a cobalt blue room in your head and invite anybody you've got issues with, whether dead or living, to come into that room. And you tell them how you feel. And then you let them tell you how they feel. Now, you may not physically or audibly hear it, but you'll pick up the feeling of it. Then you tell them what you need, and you let them tell you what they need. And then you make an agreement and you shake hands. The powerful, really incredible thing about it, it's not anybody else. It's all aspects of you, but it really, really works. The other thing I'd like to share with you is the ego. The ego is basically just that part of you that's trying to protect yourself. You know, it's not trying to make things hard. It's trying to make you safe. So what you do is you acknowledge it. So the next time you get a fear or a worry, just go, okay, I hear you. Thank you. Not like, oh my God, I can't feel this way. And you'll go, oh, okay, she hears me. And then give it a job. Now tell me what I need to do. And it'll be very powerful for you if you perhaps keep a pen and paper with you. So, and they're telling me one more thing, music is very powerful. So I hope that helps a little bit. Thank you for letting me share with you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thanks,
I'm done.
Kendara.
Thank you.
All right. Anyone else want to share? Go ahead.
Hi, Verna. You've had quite the healing so far. They've been great and very powerful, and it's wonderful to experience from this perspective as well. I just wanted to share with the energy work that I do to help address your stress and your nervous system so that your body can start to calm down, and then you can really take in all the stuff that you've been given tonight. So if I have your permission to do a little work with you as well. Okay.
Yes.
So what the first thing I want to do, I have a couple of little links that I want to do. I do tapping, so I'm going to do the tapping here, but imagine, and you're going to tap over your heart, and I'm tapping over the head and heart area. But the first thing I want you to actually do is cross your right wrist over your left wrist in your lap. And then with your eyes, just look straight up into your head and breathe. This is to help reset the autonomic nervous system. Take a couple deep breaths. This is to get your nervous system out of the fight or flight mode so you're able to finally calm down and allow your body to totally relax and the other functions to start to come to the fore as well as the nervous system. All right, good. Now the next thing I want you to do is just place your hands over the top of your ears on either side of your head, like this, just on top of your head. There you go. Breathe, and you're imagining the two sides of your brain, two sides of your body, the masculine and the feminine starting to connect and work together. So this is getting both sides, everything. And again, waking up your brain and the nervous system to get it to say, okay, there's some changes we're making and we are activating all of this now so that you can get out of these old patterns. Okay, you can put your hands down and just tap over your heart. Then I want to repair and close up your Wei Qi. The Wei Qi is a protective, energetic, protective layer around your entire body that protects you from all outside influences, physical, emotional, climate, and all electromagnetic frequencies. And those are all things that are kind of been bombarding you and coming in without any filtration. So we want to close up that layer to give you some protection so you're not indiscriminately taking on all these energies that are not for you right now. You can always choose to take in anything you want, but you don't want to be taking in everything unfiltered. And then we're going to balance your solar plexus chakra, helping you to bring in your self-worth and self-esteem and your power. And also your heart chakra, opening that up and connecting with that love and harmony. So bringing in yellow light for the solar plexus chakra and green light for the heart chakra, bringing them in perfect balance, spinning in a clockwise fashion, releasing all blockages, imbalances, non-beneficial energies to the spiritual. And we're also pulling out any of those cords. I know Sandra was talking about cords. So all these old cords that have been connected with you, we want to help clear out whatever's left. And then I want you to just ground. I want you to visualize energy going out your feet into the earth and out your tailbone, anchoring you into the earth, feeling that strong energy and allowing you to send down any of this fear, anxiety, stress, all of these feelings that you've been feeling with, allowing them to flow out through that root into the earth, where they'll be transformed by Mother Earth. And that's it. So thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Great. Yeah. Anyone else want to share?
Just a quick add on. I pulled the cards from the Self-Care Oracle, and what came up was make a vision board. And whether this is just printing off, cutting up a magazine, or printing off pictures from Google, just getting clear on, maybe 1, 2, 3 things that bring you joy, that bring back joy, that you'd like to envision, for yourself. Getting clear, you're saying you had some clarity. So, getting clear on that vision. What do you envision for yourself? What would you like to see manifest in your life? How would you like to feel? And maybe these pictures represent that feeling. And then just focusing on peace, on gratitude, coming back to gratitude, maybe placing a hand on your heart and just, I'm so grateful for, and then just let yourself fill in the blank of what you're grateful for. Maybe it was, I saw a rainbow today. It doesn't have to be sometimes we think these things just have to be these big earth shattering things. And it can just be, I'm so grateful for that first sip of coffee in the morning. Just coming back to just, this things that you're grateful for, as well as perhaps being just open to receive, placing your hand on your heart. I'm open to receive. And what is it that you'd like to receive? And maybe it doesn't come to you in that moment, but just that willingness to receive. I'm open to receive. I'm willing to release. So that you have that balance between bringing in what you'd like to bring into your life, but also letting go of what no longer serves. And maybe it served at a time. Maybe you don't even realize in what way it was protecting you. But just, I'm open to receive. I'm willing to release. I'm ready to release. I'm ready to receive, whatever the verbiage is that resonates with you. But just having that willingness to receive, to let go, and feeling that gratitude, that feeling of being blessed, and connecting to what that blessing is in your life, just even in that moment. And then another card that came through on the Self-Care Oracle is flow like water. So perhaps using the element of water to help with these cleansings, whether you're taking a salt bath or taking a walk by water, by a lake, by a river, intentionally when you're drinking water or tea, just, envisioning that this water is just cleansing me, it's refreshing me, it's revitalizing me, it's bringing me back to wholeness, to myself. Maybe when you're in your shower, just, envision, just cutting, releasing anything that's left, just, shake the ick off, right? Whatever. Sometimes we just feel ick and we don't even know where it is or what it came from, and just shake that ick off, wipe it off, shake it off. So I hope that's helpful. And thank you so much for sharing and allowing us to hold this space.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. All right, has everyone shared but me? Maybe so. Okay, yeah. So, honey, there's a particular energy of everyone's shares. So I'm going to say what I'm going to say just very lightly to help hold the energy of what's here. And Verna, feel free to reach out to me personally so that I can share it with you at a different energetic time if you want that. Okay? Just a very soft, like loving energy right now. Um, yeah. So, hey, I want to say that sometimes when there's trauma, sometimes when trauma has happened on one side of the body, that side of the body continues to be more of an issue going through life until we've healed that. And so that yours has happened so much on the left. I know that for some people, like abuse when they're young, if it tended to come in on one side or their bed was arranged a particular way and someone coming in the bedroom, like all those things can be that side of the body. So like I've injured myself almost exclusively on the right side of my body. So I'm just wondering, yeah, when you were slapped, was that the left side also? Was it on
No, it was my right
your right?
shoulder blade.
Yeah, interesting. That was the other side. And then, and you know just about your early life and if anything in particular, people approached you or anything like that from one side. So that's one thing just to know that maybe part of my things are there. And so it's going in and healing more of those things might make some differences. And I was also thinking about the trauma of when we're not believed. So I know you said that what happened when she slapped you, it wasn't on the recording of the camera because she was behind you. Did you feel like the people in the store believed you?
No.
Yeah, so there's extra trauma too of not being believed. So I just want to like anger that you might feel in you. Totally valid, right? Not only from being hit, but also the people that didn't believe you. Yeah. And then some things that would be good to do if there's more that you want, in addition to what people have shared and the healings and clearings that people have done. And this is where feel free to reach out to me and we can do some of this together. Is there are a couple different things and we'd see like what's the most supportive in the moment. Some like people have talked about being safe, right? So I want you to be able to embody, and there's different ways of phasing this so that we start off with willingness. I'm absolutely safe. So for you to be able to say that and to start to feel that more deeply in you, maybe I'm absolutely safe, including my left side. You know, some things like that. So it's you declaring to the universe and getting you to embody and really integrate that more deeply, right? And there's a really healthy, I think there's a difference between anger and aggression. I've talked about it in my panels before. Aggression is taking someone else down, pushing someone else down, and anger for me is an energy running up and down through me along my spine, and it's a stand, right? So I'm absolutely safe. There's a healthy anger that's there, like a stand for oneself. And then also I was thinking that that might be good for you if your right side is typically stronger. And this may be something for you like to deepen and embodying it on its own, but is to stop, like stop, no, stop with your hand, and then try doing it with two hands. No, stop. And you can imagine like the person coming from behind you or just anything that you don't want. And then as you write one hand, if that's your stronger hand, and then both, and then seeing if you can do that and really embody that with your left hand too, in your side, right? And I would play with your right hand first on your left side and your left hand, you know, so we get more of that in your body. Yeah, so those are some of the different things. And I'm sharing it more gently, my voice more gently right now, just because of all that's been shared already.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah, and it can be starting like small and, you know, whatever small way in tone or the languaging being, I'm willing to be safe, right? And whatever you can embody and integrate, and then taking steps from that. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I want to acknowledge all that you've been through and your willingness to love yourself and be kind to yourself and receive resources for yourself. Okay. Yeah, practitioners, anything else you want to share with Myrna before we go on?
I'll just add to that, Lorelei, and say, and for picking yourself over your sister and your niece.
Yes. 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 All right.
I
Great.
just say loving kindness, being gentle with yourself. And as I messaged you, they just said to tell you you're very, very loved. So they want you to know that.
Thank you all.
All right, great. Thank you, Verna. All right, Susan, you are next.
I am ready.
Great.
I'm
Great.
still in my car, but I'm stopped. So,
All right, go ahead. What is your question?
well, it's the ad I saw for this talked about the issue is stress. Yet, if we had a different question, we could bring it up. Okay, good. So,
Yeah, ask anything.
okay, great. So I wanted to address mainly the medical intuitives among you, but all of you may have input. I've had a lot of brain problems and trying to figure out where to go with it. It's a lot of, I just can't think. I just can't. I mean, I historically, I was incredibly intelligent, and I just having trouble drawing up words, remembering who my friends' children's names are. I mean, really dumb stuff. And then, and also sleep problems. So those are the two main things I want to address. And there's, I know of something, I know a lot of those, it's interchanged. I mean, if I can't sleep, my brain's not going to work, so there's that going on. But I think that even if I sleep well, the brain's not working right. And other things I know that feed into it are I'm having major depression problems. I was in a major depression before COVID hit, and I live alone and work by myself from home. And this isolation is not doing me any good for my depression. I got PTSD issues that really came up. I did get COVID, and I was by myself and sick, and it was very, very frightening. And so PTSD kicked up, still happening, and I had a brain injury, a couple concussions. The last one being about 2 years ago or so. So that's playing into it too. So I'm taking tons of brain vitamins. I've had a brain scan and shows 3 little dead spots on my brain. And I've been to a lot of doctors, and I'd like to get the viewpoint from you guys. Let's get a new viewpoint here on what's going on. And a lot of what you guys have said so far has been really, really fantastic and very helpful already. So really appreciate everybody.
Great, thanks for your question. It's related to the theme too. Yeah. All right, practitioners, who wants to jump in?
Well, I want to say that Carolyn, the work that Carolyn was doing with the tapping can really help. The first thing that I heard when you were talking was virus. And then you said you had COVID. And I also had COVID and almost died from it. And how long ago was it that you had COVID?
I had it in March, but now you heard virus. So in addition to that, my initial brain problems were actually from myalgic encephalomyelitis / chronic fatigue syndrome, which is probably caused by a virus. And so the brain problems, that was part of it too. But my brain was functioning since I healed myself from that. My brain has been doing much better, and then it suddenly went down again, and it's been much worse over the last year.
Yeah. Well, the post symptoms from COVID can last months. And I don't know what your doctor told you, probably not much. I know I was isolated for 11 days before I was hospitalized, and my doctor didn't say anything to me. And most of the doctors didn't really know. So after I got released from the hospital, and what saved me from dying was the breath work, the yoga breath work that I've been doing. But connecting your right and your left, and Carolyn was doing some of that, and hopefully she'll speak up and give you some more info on tapping and the benefits of tapping and what it can do for you. And if you want to reach out to me, I'm teaching the breath work that I'm doing along with you know, connecting the right and left and the quadrants of the brain, the amygdala back in the back of our brain increases, which is what causes the PTSD. And then the frontal lobe of our brain decreases. And so it's getting that lobe to decrease. Music helps wonderfully with that. But doing the exercises such as what Carolyn was doing for Verna, the work that I do, which is, you know, holding here, there are all kinds of things that you can do. I know that Laureli has a whole host of those as well that can help to get the different sides of your brain so that those dark spots on your brain scan can start to heal through that. So I do a lot of work with healing also, but if I can, if Carolyn wants to talk, I'd like to pass it to her because I think she may have some.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. And what is your name?
Oh, that was Sandra that was sharing, and I'll put her
Sandra.
information in the chat again. I know you're on a phone.
Thank you.
If you
Right.
trying to think, well, so if you look in the event, everyone's contact info is in the event too. So if you have trouble getting it off your phone, you can reach us afterwards.
Thanks.
Yeah, so hi, Susan. This is Carolyn here, and thank you, Sandra, for throwing it my way. Yes, as a medical intuitive, that is something I could do in a personal situation. I'm not going to doing a medical intuitive reading here right now under these circumstances because that's for you privately. But definitely the energy work that I'm doing is great at helping to get things reconnected, especially your nervous system, getting the different parts of your brain working together, getting the communication in your body again back together. Also doing emotional work to help release and clear all the depression, the PTSD, because that PTSD is probably the underlying thing that's really getting your nervous system in a constant state of stress and anxiety. And so, and then the COVID and everything that's happened has just sort of pushed it over the edge. And so you are on overload with all of this information. But it can be dealt with, it can be worked with over a period of time. And yeah, I can also teach you, let me just do the brain balancing and the reset, which I just did with Verna also for you, if that's okay. Am I allowed to do that?
Yes, yeah. And I wanted to be clear, all this brain problem started before COVID.
Right, but but the COVID kind of has just accelerated, it ramped up the things that you were having already. So it just magnified it.
Yeah, there's actually not been much of a difference from the COVID, I'm afraid. Yeah.
Okay. All right, well,
but that's just one more thing, yeah.
Yeah, it's just one more thing adding to it and not allowing you to, finally get off of that ledge and calm down again, as it is a process. But okay, so just take a couple deep breaths. I want you to just relax for a second. And I want you to ground yourself, really feel that energy going through your feet into the earth and through your tailbone, root chakra into the earth. And just allow earth energy to come up your feet and then go back down the root again, so that you're bringing in that healing earth energy and then taking out any energies that are not in your best interest out through your root chakra and down into the earth. And then while you're doing that, if you could cross your right wrist over your left wrist in your lap there, and then with your eyes, look to the top of your head. Keep breathing. And I'm going to be tapping. So this is helping your whole autonomic nervous system to reset, calm down, get out of this fight or flight stress mode. And allowing things to calm down within the whole nervous system. Okay, you can just tap over your heart while I'm doing the rest of this. And then I'm going to go into your brain and go to the thalamus. We're going to do a complete update on your thalamus, bringing in the new blueprint information, realigning it, reconnecting it, getting your thalamus again working. That's sort of like the grand central station of information in your brain. There are 16 parts of it. So we want to get all of them back on track and working individually and together. Then also, we're going to go to the hippocampus, which deals with memories. And for both of these, the thalamus and the hippocampus, I'm putting in what we call a circulation plug-in, getting everything working, getting it all activated again, and getting things all on track. Okay, and then we're going to do a brain balancing. So this is both sides of the brain, the body, the masculine and the feminine. And allowing the communication between all of those parts to start integrating and working together. And then we're going to bring in Jupiter, planet archetype Jupiter, bringing in that sort of expansion, optimism to help support these shifts and changes. We'll take one more deep breath. Okay, you can stop. And we will leave it there for now. Hopefully, how does that feel?
Yeah, good.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. And you can always reach out to me if you have any other questions or anything else.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Thanks, Carolyn. All right, who else wants to share?
Okay, hi. Hi, Suzanne. I'm not a medical intuitive and I'm not a doctor. I'm just gonna say I'm getting the word fish and fish oil for you, and you can research it and see what it does. That's my little contribution. If I get anything else, I'll add it. So thank you.
Thanks.
Of course.
And feel free, Kendara, too, if you have any other intuition you want to share in addition to.
Okay, I will.
Yeah, because I've got that sleep issue going too. So anything you get about that.
Absolutely. What I get is to ask you if you meditate. Do you meditate?
Sometimes, I mean, I have a lot in the past, but when I get into really severe depression, it actually works against me to meditate.
Okay.
So I've been doing a little bit, but I've not been pushing myself on it because of that.
Will you do me a favor? Just let me walk you through a really simple breathing thing, which I do it in the morning and at night, and I do it sitting up in bed against the headboard with a little timer, just 10 minutes. So if you just sit up straight and put your hands in your lap and close your eyes. And if you very lightly put your tongue on the roof of your mouth where your teeth and the soft palate meet, that stimulates your pineal gland, which increases your intuition. Isn't that cool? So imagine roots growing out of your feet. Just imagine it. And I'd like you to breathe in through your nose for a count of 5. And hold it for a count of 5. and breathe out through your mouth for a count of 5. And as you breathe out through your mouth, Susan, silently say the word breathing. Just say it in your head. And let's do it again. Breathe in through your nose for a count of 5. Hold it for a count of 5. And as you breathe out through your mouth, breathe out anything you no longer want, that no longer serves you. And do it again, but this time breathe in what you want, how you want to feel. I'm breathing in, and hold it, and breathe out, and I'm releasing the count of 5. And then let's do it a couple more times. Breathe in, and hold it, and breathe out, breathing. And one more time. Breathe in, hold it, breathe out, and breathing. And you can open your eyes now. How do you feel? Isn't that nice and peaceful?
Yeah,
And you can do that anywhere. You can do it if you're sitting someplace and you're stressed, just looking down. So I think that might really help you. And keep a pen and paper next to you and write what you get. And someone just yelled through to tell you to drink more water. So water, Susan, water. That's all I've got here. Oh, with lemon. That's all I've got here for now. So thank you.
Great, thank you. All right.
Very welcome.
Anyone else want to share? I think Susan or Lisa? I don't remember who shared. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was waiting to see if Susan was leaning in.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So I was feeling a little bit intimidated because it's a medical issue, but I work with love energy, divine love energy, and so that's the message that's coming through for you that I'll talk about because I wrote it down. But the first thing that I saw when I was tuning into you was a gold, like a gold light, golden and mixed with a white color over the top of your head. And I'm just gonna kind of read through the messages that I wrote down, and maybe they'll make sense. Maybe I can pick some things up as I read through them. I heard that there's a fracture in your heart-brain vibration. So again, I work with loving energy, but it's also a lot of the work that I do is related to how to manipulate your own energy. And they want me to tell you about the morphing mind and the morphing mind's eye. So the morphing mind's eye, from my understanding, is a combination between your third eye and your mind, the thoughts, the consciousness, and how they work together. Our thoughts tend to interfere when there's a belief that causes the mind and the nature of the mind and how it wants to grow and change. But our thoughts tend to interfere, tend to tamp it down. And that's kind of what tamps down our heart energy too. So the message with your morphing mind is that somewhere in this stream of consciousness that you have, that you're feeling unloved because of these difficulties that you're going through. And they want to remind you to morph your mind about that. So when or if this feeling comes to you and you become conscious of it, to allow the love in your heart, because you have a lot of that that's just waiting to like fly out of you and fly upward. And that's part of this golden light over your head. They're asking that you allow this love in your heart to rise. So anytime you might be feeling unloved, or anytime you might be hearing things or yourself talking to yourself that's causing you to worry about these things, to use your love energy to morph those thoughts. So rather than try to say, change your thoughts to change the energy, see if you can change your energy to change your thoughts. They're saying to have her hold her morphing mind eye open to the golden light that's above you. And it's close, it's not far, it's like sitting right there. You have a heart vibration waiting to be released into your mind's eye. Tell her to arrange her morphing mind eye in a way that helps her refocus what's true about your heart's fantasies in life. And then I saw you like laughing and crying at the same time, which from a, like, I'll just use the word sage, from like a sage's perspective, that's like a great place to have, to realize that love is in everything. Love is in our pain. Love is in our hard stuff. Love is in you and it's around you, even though you're going through these difficult things. And then the last thing was that I heard she has a heart lover in her mind. Tell her to meet him again. So hopefully that means something, but if not, maybe it's just your thoughts that you need to love more.
Well, could you say that once more? Say that line again.
Yeah, I heard she has a heart lover in her mind. Tell her to meet him again. And they said you'd know what I was talking about.
I know
but
who
if
you're
not, maybe someone.
I know who you're talking about, but yeah, but I had planned on not meeting him again, so that's interesting.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah.
Go in love, sister.
I'd like to jump in again and add a little more, if I may. I get that there's some people who haven't been there for you during this period and you feel almost like you were abandoned. And I'm getting that this is going to be resolved in the most appropriate, divinely right way about March or April for you. So just send love and light. Not more than you're capable of doing, but just with love and light, and everything will transform and shift. And self-forgiveness is the most important. So avoid blaming yourself in any way. This is all part of the healing process for you, and it's going to be
Thank
okay.
you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. That's very helpful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, great. Susan, did you want to jump in with anything?
Yeah. So one thing is making sure, or just asking yourself, what do I need right now? I get a sense that you're really a giver, and people, you're there for everybody, but just making sure that you make time for yourself. And what do I need right now? But then also, if you do, being willing to ask for help from others as well, that it's okay to give, but it's also okay to receive. And if there's times if you're like holding somebody and somebody offers to get the door, let them get the door. So many times it's like, oh no, I got it. And it's okay to receive help. And then also find fun. And a card that came out was dance. So I don't know if you enjoy dancing or, but find fun, whether that's just dancing for your turning on the radio and just letting your body move. There's also a form I saw coming up, a soul dance. There's chakra dance, where they dance in alignment with to clear out any kind of blockages within the chakra energy centers of the body. But just let your body move. Just turn on the music and just let yourself move. Be free. Helping to balance and clear any of that stuck energy. And in that clear your energy, it's funny that each of these self-care cards has a mantra, and the mantra on that clear your energy is, my energy is clear, my mind is clear, and my heart is full of love. And tuning back into that beautiful heart that is full, your beautiful heart that is full of love. And when all the busyness and it's all said and done, and tuning back into your beautiful heart of love. You mentioned too that meditation is difficult, and one that I would invite you to and try is called Yoga Nidra. And it's a guided meditation, and it's kind of twofold. We use it quite a bit with the Veterans Yoga Project. Each one of our yoga practices actually includes a mini Yoga Nidra, but it can help. Yoga Nidra can help with anxiety. It can help with insomnia. And they say that about 30 minutes of Yoga Nidra is equivalent to about a 3 or 4 hour nap. So it can really help replenish and balance. Another breathing, and we talked about a lot about breathing, is alternate nostril breathing. And that can also help balance the right and the left sides of the brain. So those are some things I would invite you to try.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for being here and for being willing to share.
Great, great. All right, I've got a few things too. So just like people have been suggesting all kinds of things for the two sides of the brain, there's other things like brain gym. So yeah, great options, and EMDR even might be supportive. Let's see. So I'm going to speak to a few things just based on my own experience. They may not be relevant at all. I'm not a medical intuitive or a doctor either. I was a biologist, but I'm also going to speak from my own experience and my coaching. So I just know perimenopause and menopause, right? Like all that can be mixed in there too about brain fog, which, right, hormonal differences. I'm sure you're aware of that. And then also for me, food allergies was causing some sugar crashing and a lot of brain fog. So that's something too, just to look at anything that you could be allergic to can be making the symptoms even worse. I want to mention too, you mentioned that you're really smart. So your first talent, I think, is scholar. It's all about absorbing information to build knowledge and share knowledge. And so you are naturally smart. And whenever we have a particular gift in something and we lose some of that capacity, it is the most challenging thing, in particular because we so know it and so value it. So I want to share, like, I get that too about how that's so much of a challenge, right? You know how you were, and you know that you're different right now.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so ironically, the highest lesson of scholar is to be an intuitive knower. So in some ways, you could also say that your gift is pushing you to grow spiritually, where it's to feel more comfortable in the not knowing, feel more comfortable with whatever wants to arise in that moment, even though you can't understand why it's connected and you're not able to grasp onto the things that you have known in the past. That the more you can get comfortable swimming in that mystery, you'll be easier in yourself. So reformatting, recontextualizing it as you've been thrust forward rather than backwards.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
And just part of what that brings out for me too is that, are you familiar with the Chinese finger puzzle? Right. So the idea is if we try to pull our fingers out, it tightens around us, and it's by going to it. Yeah. So for me, I think of this too as anything in our lives. If we're wanting to push it away or change it, that it's like pulling out of the Chinese finger puzzle and it clings and it's tighter. So for me, an acceptance of what's here, looking to see if there are any fine layers of that. So I mentioned earlier, just saying some simple truths like today is Sunday. So saying something like today is Sunday and my brain has changed. Or today is Sunday and I have brain fog. And part of what that can do is by letting in this, it's letting in layers of acceptance. There might be grief that comes up, anything that might arise that you've been in wanting to change it, like there's a fighting of it off and denying it and pushing it away, right? That you haven't been able to fully feel your feelings. And so in the acceptance, there might be a relaxation and there's more of your body that's not tense, where you're keeping yourself in stress. So again, making it worse.
Oh, that's really good. Yes.
Great, great. And if, and then some other things too, like I'm willing to accept that my brain has changed. right? I accept that my brain has changed. Right? And again, having that new context of maybe it's forward, not backwards. Right? In a paradoxical way that might be hard to let in. But it could be there.
Yeah. Yeah, but that feels much better to think about it that way, that's for sure. And lets go a lot of the stress to look at it that way. Yeah.
Yeah. Great, great. And then just one other, it sounds like you're already doing a lot of supplements. I've heard good things and not so good things about him. I just want to mention Daniel Amen and all of his SPECT scans. He has all sorts of, so if you haven't done that, that's just another, yeah.
Yeah, haven't, but I know all about it. I've talked to him repeatedly.
Great,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
See if I have anything else. Yeah, those are the big things that are here for me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
For a second.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, go ahead. If someone else, another practitioner has something else to share.
At the end of the year, every year I do, I go over what the next coming year is going to have and kind of an ending up. We are going to be doing it in the MeWe also, but what came up this year, I used to do astrology a lot. So I did astrology, Chinese astrology, numerology, and channeled. And what came up on all levels was that 2020 was going to be a year of surrender. And a lot of people think of surrender as giving up. But the kind of surrender that it is talking about is if you've ever driven on ice and you start to spin, you cannot do like Laureli said with the Chinese puzzle. You can't fight it. You've got to allow it to move in. It's counterintuitive, but you've got to allow it to move in until you can get control and move out. So this, and then of course the pandemic happened and I was like shocked. And this has been a whole year of surrender, and the people that are having the most trouble are the ones that are fighting it and resisting it and unwilling to accept and unwilling to find any kind of gratitude. And the other thing is a lot of people started saying apocalypse, that we're in an apocalypse. So I did some research about it. What apocalypse really means is to uncover or to reveal. And the gift of 2020 is to uncover and reveal. And adding on the advice that Laureli was giving was, you know, if you can move into some kind of acceptance, and I like to say, I'm feeling horrible today, and then welcome it in and then ask for the gift that it's giving me, why I'm feeling whatever it is I'm feeling, and then be still and listen. So those are, I was just amazed at how much has been uncovered. If you think about all the things that I thought we were in a lot better place in this country than we really are. We had a lot of things revealed to us this year. So, and it's true other years too, but this has been a really interesting year. Anyway, I just wanted to add that because it fit right with what Laureli was saying.
Yeah, that's great. I love that new definition, or new to me
Yeah.
definition. That's great. Yeah, practitioners, anything else that you want to share with Susan?
Just thank you for opening up and allowing us to share with you. It takes courage. It really does. It means you're willing to do what you need to do. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you all. Thank you. It's been great. I've gotten a lot out of this whole thing. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, so thank you, Susan and Carol and Verna, for your questions tonight. No, we've got a few minutes left, so practitioners will get to share any more tips they have, and please go ahead and mention your contact info so it's in the recording and your specials. And then also everyone, I've got in the chat is the link for filling out our feedback form. If you'd like to fill out our feedback form, that would be great for us. We'll enter you into a drawing for a free 30-minute session with one of us of your choice. And you'll get to hear about all of our upcoming events. And oh yeah, let me paste also in the chat the so many upcoming events we have. There are a few of them right here. Let me get these in here right now. So they are, for example, for those of you that happen to be awake in the middle of the night, we do a fair that's the time for Australia. So Thursday morning, Wednesday night, Thursday morning this week, we're going to have a fair from 1 to 4 a.m. And then we have Healing with Color, a panel on Friday, November 27. And then on November 30, we have another panel, Elementals, Dragons, Elves, and Norse Fae. And then we have one of our regular fairs in the evening hours, Friday, December 4, and then another panel, Divination for Discovery, on Friday, December 11. Great. Yeah, so all these things going on. Well, so yeah, practitioners, go ahead and if you have any other tips you want to share, but also maybe let's first go through and share your contact info and your special, and then we can say a few more tips before we finish. Yeah, whoever wants to go first. And I'll put your information in the chat again too.
Okay, I'm Kendara Laurel, and my specialties are belief shifting, helping you find self-sabotaging beliefs, tarot, intuitive spiritual counseling, and the I Ching. And right now I'm offering through the end of December readings for $1 a minute. And you can reach me at my website, which is kendaralaurel.com, or my Gmail, which is kendaralaurel@gmail.com, or you can text me at 720-470-6928. Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks, Kendara. All right, who else wants to share?
Hi, I'm Carolyn Osborn, energy intuitive of Chiron Energy Medicine, and I work with people and animals. And I am offering a 20% discount off my services on my website, which is Chiron, CHIRON, energymedicine.com. And the code for the discount is FAIR, FAIRNOV for November 20. So that's FAIRNOV 20. And I can also be reached at 818-776-8432. And I also have a free consultation that you can connect with on my website as well. And would love to answer any questions or talk to you. Thank you.
Great, thank you. All right, and her information is in the chat as well as everyone else who's sharing. Great, who else wants to share? Someone unmute.
Okay. I'm Lisa, and my information is 406-696-3347, or my email is lisa@breathofyoga.net, BREATHOFYOGA.net. And if you schedule something with me in the next couple of weeks, my pricing for tonight is 30 minutes for $45. And you can also check out my website, and that is also breathofyoga.net. And you can see the different modalities that I do and how I integrate some of the things that I've integrated tonight, but also any movement and yoga type sessions. So thank you.
That's great. And part of what you call your modality is illuminating heart readings and morphing practices.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Laura.
Great.
Lorelei.
All right, great. Who else wants to go?
I'll go. I'm Sandra Jeffs, and I have recently combined all the modalities that I do into Soul Essence Awakening. And what that is clearing limiting beliefs, clearing stuck emotions, and reconnecting you to divine love, which is the ultimate healer, I believe, and allowing you to step into your full potential. And so I have a special now running for the next couple of months for stress and getting rid of the stress and unwinding your adrenals. So because you want your adrenals to be working and not wound up and pumping out, keeping you stressed for $60, excuse me, $60, it's 40% off. So, and I think Laurel, just put all my information in, so thank you.
All right, great. And then I think we've got a couple of us left.
I can go. I'm Susan Watkins with Inspired Life Essential Wellness, and I offer Reiki. I'm a Reiki master. So I offer Reiki energy clearing and rebalancing. I also offer sound healings with the crystal and Tibetan singing bowls. That also helps to clear and balance energy. I'm an intuitive reader with oracle cards. And I'm also a yoga and meditation teacher. And the special for the rest of the 2020 will be $35 for 30 minutes and $60 for 60 minutes. You can, my website's in the process of being, it's in a transition, we'll just say. So best to reach me via email at inspiredlife.service@gmail.com, or you can text me at 206-909-5866. And I've really enjoyed being a part of this panel and sharing with this wonderful group of people, as well as everybody that came here and was so brave to allow us to hold this space and ask their questions. So thank you so much for this opportunity.
That's great. And this might be the first panel that you've been on with us. Is that right? Yeah, great. I look forward to having you on more. And I'm Laureli Shimayo. I'm an intuitive eye reader, body psychology coach, and an emotional energy healer. So I do sessions. I can do larger sessions. Like typically I would do an hour. You'd send me a number of photos ahead of time if I've not read your eyes before. So you'd send me photos of your parents, anyone else in your life. If you're looking at relationships, send me photos of exes. You can send me photos of people at work, and we'll look at all that. So I'll look at your eyes, all the different archetypes that I see in them. I call thrive types, and then answer questions about whatever topic. And then usually the body psychology and the emotional energy healing is connected to your lessons and how to grow through the lessons that are here. You can find me online at laurelishimayo.com. That's Laurelishimayo. And there's information on my intuitive eye readings at thrivetypes.com. That's thrivetypes.com. And I'm going to be raising my rates this week. So this is the last night that you can sign up with me for $60 an hour. So it's $1 a minute. I'm going to be raising them a bit back up to my pre-pandemic prices, like about halfway up. So yeah, if you want to do any work with me, now's a great time to sign up. If you sign up for a complimentary session today from having been here, and then you sign up for a session, I'll honor that pricing. So you can also go just to schedule.laureli.com and sign up for a complimentary session for sometime this week or so, and I'll still honor that pricing if you were here. Yeah, and then this is the MeWe fairs, MeWe events. So we have all sorts of events throughout the Northwest and online right now. As I posted in the chat, we have so much going on, and you can learn more about us at mewefairs.com, MEWEFAIRS.com. And if you want to see the page that has all of our online events, you can go to either of these URLs will take you there. You can go to jointhefair.com or joinmeweonline.com, and you'll see all the events that are upcoming. We're also on YouTube. If you look for MeWe Fairs on YouTube, you can find all of the recordings of the different events. I've still got to upload a few. And then we also have a MeWe Fairs Facebook page, and we have an email list. If you go to mewefairs.com, there'll be a little pop-up and you can get in our email list. If you fill out the feedback form too, we'll put you on our email list. So a great way to stay connected. I'll put the link to the feedback form in the chat one more time right now. So yeah, before you go, grab the link. And so thanks so much for coming. And then practitioners, if you have any more tips that you've thought of that we haven't talked about yet tonight, feel free to just jump in, and we'll just kind of popcorn and mention them as we're kind of ending our time together. Yeah, so practitioners, any other thing? Yeah.
Laugh every day. Connection to your heart. Laugh.
Yeah, I remember one of the early presentations we had with one of these groups at my house is we had a practitioner of laughter yoga come, and we had all of us up and around the big room that I had in my house. Yeah. There was great.
I do laugh. I also do laughter yoga. Yes, I love it.
Great. Yeah, just thinking about connecting with our heart and just feeling whatever our heart feels. Like being with whatever our heart feels, whatever that is. It doesn't have to mean anything. Just simply being with it. Yeah, practitioners, any more things? Great. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for being with us. Yeah, please reach out to any of us. We'd love to work with you. Thank you, those of you that shared questions and allowed us to share our answers. All right, great. Take care, everyone.